This conference will now be recorded.
Stands number 6.
Okay, thank you.
Paul's here.
That was number 8.
8. Thank you. That Paul is number 8?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. And
Julie?
7.
Julie, I
I'm here.
have. And Lori?
Yes, Lori's on.
5.
5.
5. Okay.
Don's on.
7.
7.
Don 7.
Okay.
Okay, now we're coming back into regular session from the executive session of community development. So we're still in community development, Don. You still have items 4, 5, and 6.
Do we
Sally
have Sally Huggins yet?
No.
Oh. Yeah, give Sally a minute.
Yep.
Are you messaging her, Frank?
Yep. She's
We're
probably
all
trying
gonna
to.
get good
Fine.
at this meeting, go-to meeting right before it all goes back.
Yeah, we'll finally figure out the idiosyncrasies, and then we won't use it for a while.
Yeah, I finally figured out I had to use my phone. I never did get much out of the other ones, out of the computer.
Well, I think you're using cell signals and smaller microprocessor and everything else. So I think in a remote capacity, I think a simple phone works better.
Sally just
Yeah,
texted me, said that she can't get in.
She might have 2 sessions open. She might want to double check.
Yep.
She might have closed out of the session, but didn't close out of go to meeting
Right.
from the prior one.
If that's the case, it might be easier just to call in by phone and get the last couple minutes.
Yep.
There she is.
Here she is.
Sorry, I don't
That's
know.
okay.
We've been waiting for you. Yeah.
I know, and I'm starved to death, so move along.
Moving right along. This is Don. Okay, we're coming out of the executive session of the Community Development Committee, and we have discussed the ordinance and adopting the compensation of building inspector and official, and we have talked about the number 4, the revoking of the ordinance 400. And we've looked at permit fees. So this will be discussed. Frank, you want to cover that, and then we'll go to the appraisals and so forth.
Right. So item 3, ordinance adopting duties and compensation of building official. That one will be addressed at the next committee meeting, if not the board meeting. Item 4 for revoking of ordinance number 400 will be taken off and then addressed at the next one. The permit fees will be the same way. It's taken off for tonight and then will be addressed at the next meeting. And then the appraisals will just allow me to discuss with the property owners the results of the appraisals.
Oh,
And just
Frank,
so-
if we can just
just-
step back for a second on the relative to the compensation of the ordinance. I guess if maybe the minutes can just reflect the fact that draft copy of the current proposal of fees and permits will be sent out to all the committee members and the board members for feedback. And if if we're in a position to do so, an updated draft will be presented at the board meeting.
And also, if it could be clarified that what was discussed in executive session was not the ordinance per se, but it was having to do with the compensation of the building official, because going into executive session to discuss an ordinance is not one of the exceptions, but certainly to discuss the compensation of the building official is. And so that's perfectly allowed. And that's what was discussed in executive session, as well as certain appraisals of real estate that in which the village may have an interest.
Is there anything else? And community development is closed. Frank?
So do you have a motion from community development to, well, I guess we don't need to actually come out.
No, but usually we do a motion to adjourn.
Right, motion to adjourn.
Yes. Do I do that or you?
Well, the way we have it set up here is if we're done with the committee meeting, then we would just go on to the next item, and we have future meeting dates, but I think we were going to wait till next week for the committees to set a date unless you want to do that now.
Really, anybody who has any
I'll
input?
make that one that much
Sure.
quicker. Public Works will likely go on Monday, July the 6th at 4 o'clock.
At 6. Police committee then?
Police will be to be determined.
To be determined. Okay, finance committee.
I just asked Paul and Lori to check their schedules, and we'll set the date next week at the board meeting.
Oh, to be determined. Okay, who else is on there? Community development, to be determined. We got public works. Is that all, Frank? That's it?
Yeah.
We'll adjourn.
The rest at the board meeting.
Right. So, and just so you know, I will not be here Monday. I'll be on vacation. So we may need to have someone lead the meeting, and if that occurs, I'll let one of the trustees know.
Good.
And if we have a motion to adjourn this meeting,
Also move. Oh,
we have
Make a
Paul.
motion.
Julie?
So Paul had the motion and Julie with a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, any opposed? All right,
Everybody go enjoy their dinner.
thanks.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Night.
Good night.
Bye.